Tune in to the Shrink and Wrap Show here on WTAN Talk Radio.
Our stories and our topics will include, but not limited to, everyday issues. We're here for you, for our listeners. We want to know what's important to you.
So again, don't miss us
on WTAN Talk Radio. Tune in again, Shrink and Wrap Show.
We'll see you then.
That's the Shrink and Wrap Show every Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. right here on the WTAN Talk Radio Network.
Hello, this is the one and only Robbie the Shark. I want to welcome you to the new program, All Groovy, man. I just want a bunch of folks in front of my porch. Let's have a Coca-Cola, a sweet tea, or whatever your drinking flavor is, and let's just talk about life and how far we've come on the only 1340 WTAN WTAN Talk Radio Network.
It's All Groovy with Robbie the Shark, Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Listen at your own risk.
This is the WTAN Talk Radio Network.
Good morning, everybody. 9:06 on a beautiful Thursday morning. The sun is shining for now. Wait until later on, though. Every day at 5 o'clock, man. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. The rain just starts coming down. My dog freaks out. She runs into the room. She comes out and checks and makes sure we're still there. Then she panics and runs around the house. And, oh, God, every day at 5 o'clock, we know that that's what we have to deal with. Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, but you are listening to the one and the only Knife and Fork Radio Show here on the WTAN Talk Radio Network. Hopefully everyone had a great week since we spoke to you last time on previous Thursday. Mike, how's your week been, man, since we spoke to you last? Everything good?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Amazing.
You know what? That's a great word, man. I like to hear that. Amazing is a good word to describe it.
I just can't get any better.
Yeah, that's good, man. I mean, life is good.
It's totally up from here, brother.
It has to be, right? It can't get any worse. It's got to get better. Oh, man. You know what? We just like to laugh. We like to joke. Yeah, we take the goods with the bads. Sometimes there's more bads than goods. But what are you going to do? You know what I mean? You just got to laugh about it. You just got to roll and see what happens, you know?
Keep on trucking, man.
Just play it by ear, man. Take it one day at a time. That's it, man. But, yes, anyway, we've got a pretty good show for you today. We've got a lot of crazy, interesting topics. We've had a crazy week in the news this past week, obviously, with the debates that happened on Tuesday. I'll touch on that briefly. Like I always say, we're not a political show, but I got to tell you, man, I watched that debate start to finish, with the exception of maybe just a couple of minutes, and it was just as awesome as I thought it was going to be.
I mean, it was more hilarious than I thought it would ever be.
Oh my
but
God.
I mean, they never seemed to let us down.
I know, man. As soon as the debate was over, man, I locked my door and I told my dog, stay put. Don't go to Springfield, Ohio, whatever you do. Even if you get a job paying you $150,000 a year, dog, do not go to Springfield, Ohio, because the Haitians might eat you.
That's what Homer Simpson said.
I'll tell you what, man, it is just funny. I love watching the debates. I love watching the Donald Trump speeches. I'm not going to talk about any kind of political views or what direction I swing, left, right, middle, indifferent, whatever. But every time that son of a bitch gets up on the stage and starts talking, man, it is just a comic relief in my life. I love it. Yeah. I love everything about it, man.
Well, it put me over the top. Now I know who I'm going to vote for.
Right.
I actually 100%. And I'll say it. I'm gonna write my wife in.
That's a really good. That's what
I'm gonna do.
That's a way to go down, man. Yeah, that's a really good way to do it.
Now that I know.
Yeah.
Now that I know.
I'll tell you, man. We got that Scooby statue in the corner over there. Maybe he's the prime candidate for the.
You know what? He's pretty close.
Presidency.
I mean, he's number 2 at least.
He's a cool-looking son of a gun over there. He's got his sunglasses on. He's wearing an Imus shirt. I don't know why, but he should be wearing a knife and fork shirt. But I get it. Imus might be a little bit more popular than us.
Yeah,
at one time, he was. But I don't know. I couldn't see it happening anymore. You know. But we are the number 1 rated show in the universe, from what we understand.
Oh yeah, the ratings are in. They're in every morning.
Every Thursday morning at 9:03.
Oh. Beautiful.
We nailed it again, Mike.
We nailed it again, brother.
Yeah,
I mean,
we nailed it again.
It's just natural.
It's very organic.
Yeah, it just happens.
And we just kind of roll with it and see what happens.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah. Do you ever go to rooftop bars, Mike?
I used to
back in the old days,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
Yeah,
Used to
back in the
love
old
them.
days.
Yeah.
Rooftop bars are beautiful, man. You get out there, you go to the top. There's usually some sort of like a scenic view overlooking the city and whatever. Have a couple of drinks, maybe have an appetizer or two, relax for a little bit. I do enjoy a rooftop bar, and so I put together this list today for the top 10 list of the best rooftop bars in the area in Tampa Bay with the best views. And
fantastic. I'd love to hear that.
I've been to a few of them. I've heard of the majority of them, and I've visited a few of them. And I got to tell you, the ones that I've visited stand up to the top 10 list. So they're definitely worthy of being on this list. That's for sure.
Let's hear 'em.
What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's hear them. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, let's do it. Beacon Rooftop Bar in the Marriott Tampa. It's located on the 27th floor, which is a crazy good view. Imagine sitting up on the 27th floor and just overlooking the bay, having a martini, having a beer, whatever your drink of choice is, and just relaxing, or having an iced tea or a soda, whatever, a sweet tea. It doesn't matter. Whatever you ice pick. For all those of you that don't know, an ice pick is sweet tea and vodka.
Yes.
So it's an adult beverage with iced tea included, but having a nice little drink and relaxing a little bit, looking over the bay. Beacon Rooftop Bar on the 27th floor of the Marriott in Tampa. That comes in at number 10. Jimmy's Crow's Nest. Now, this is one that I've never been to before. It's a beautiful view. It says, you feel like a pirate scouting for land, is what this article says. Now, I don't know if necessarily I want to feel like a pirate, because pirates, while they're cool and they speak funny and they've got that grunt in their voice.
They usually have eye patches too.
They do have eye patches, parrots, peg legs.
Yes.
Let's all be honest with each other. They were all criminals.
Yeah, everyone.
You know what I mean?
Everyone.
And if there was a real pirate, such as Blackbeard or one of those in today's world, they'd probably get arrested and they'd be in prison for life, if not executed. So with that being said, I don't know if you necessarily want to feel like a pirate when you go to this place, but if you do have that intention, you're certainly going to feel that way when you visit this place. The next up on the list is going to be the Vantage Rooftop Bar in Carroll Hotel. And I'm looking at this view on this computer screen.
This is amazing.
Does it get any better than that? For all those of you out there that are listening that can't see what I'm looking at, what Mike is looking at right now, you've got a beautiful view of Pier 60, it looks like, in downtown Clearwater, overlooking the Gulf of Mexico. And you're sitting up maybe, 15 stories up possibly, and you've just got a bird's eye view of everything going on underneath it. That looks like a really good time.
Except for that robbery happening in the corner.
Well, you know what? We're going to move past that.
You're talking about Carroll Hotel?
It's called the Carroll Hotel. Yes, sir.
That's on Ulmerton Road. You can't see the beach from there.
Okay, well, this must be a generic view then.
The one before, what was the Crow's Nest? That's on Clearwater Beach.
Is that on Clearwater? Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I'm sorry, Ed. For all those of you that are listening out there, Ed is 100% correct. The Crow's Nest is the one with this view. The pictures are a bit skewed. I apologize for my inadequacies with this list this morning, but the Crow's Nest is the one that we're looking at right now, the one that came in at number 9 on the list. So there you go.
In the Carroll Hotel, you kind of overlook, what's that development there? Shoot.
I'm not sure.
I remember
on Ulmerton.
Yeah, past ICOT Center, and then you got.
We'll have to look into that and see.
If we go, whatever it is, and you can see the Howard Franklin.
Okay, very good. All right, so that's a good view also then, of course. Have well, obviously you've been there, Ed. What do you think of that establishment? Do you like it?
You got to mortgage your house before you go there.
Oh, wow. It's like that, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it's kind of... See, there's a big difference between the one before the Crow's Nest. You can go up there with a pair of shorts and flip-flops.
Okay, that's the way I like to dress.
The other place, you're not going to get out of the car with that.
I see.
So it's more of a higher end.
All right, so there you go, everybody that's listening out there. If you want to go and freak out or you want to visit one of these establishments, make sure you dress
higher end.
All right, so there you go, everybody that's listening out there. If you want to go and freak out or you want to visit one of these establishments, make sure you dress accordingly, and make sure that if you do go to the Carroll, you look into getting a second mortgage on your home before you order that first cocktail, because you may need it.
Have a tuxedo in your trunk, ready to go.
I keep a tuxedo in my trunk just in case of an emergency, like a formal dining.
Oh, well, formal dining, James Bond situation, whatever.
I keep it right next to my my industrial immersion blender, which I really do have in my trunk of my car, just in case someone needs to make an emergency batch of Caesar dressing. And they call me. I'm like, I'll be right there. I got you covered.
Fantastic.
I used it yesterday. It's at work, as a matter of fact, and I just happen to have it in the trunk.
Well, I just happen to have a chair in my trunk, just so if anything crazy goes down, I can just sit down and watch it.
I love it, man. I love it. Keep a microwave in there and some popcorn, too, just in case.
That's what I'm saying.
Sal Y. Mar Rooftop Bar in Midtown Tampa comes in next on the list. Apparently, it must overlook downtown Tampa. You probably have a really good view, so that sounds like a really good time if you want to look at a city bustling, moving around, and see what's going on.
It's probably awesome at night when all the lights are on.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, you get to see everything. Yeah. Get to hear the cars whizzing by on 275 and I-4 and all the traffic and whatnot. Jimmy's on the edge, Clearwater Beach. Back with another Jimmy, but this time he's gone to the beach. This rooftop is so large, you might need a map to find the bar. Wow. I wonder if you can use your Siri app on your phone in order to find the bar in this establishment.
Maybe.
Well, that's on top of the Edge Bar, the Edge Hotel.
So you've been there as well, Ed?
No, but
okay,
I passed
you know where it is. Yeah.
So it's right there at Clearwater Path.
Okay.
The inlet right there. It's right there at Sand Key.
Sand Key, beautiful.
Well, you can see Sand Key.
Sand Key is a beautiful beach. I love it.
Oh, Sand
I haven't
Key's
been
my
there in
favorite.
years, but it's a beautiful beach. Yeah. 360 Rooftop Bar in the Hotel Zamora. That comes in next on the list. Luna Lounge, Bula Gastro Bar. I've never heard of this place before. I know of Luna Restaurant over there. I want to say that's over in that same area, if I'm not mistaken, Ed, in the Ulmerton area, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't have any addresses or it doesn't have anything on this list. So it kind of is a very vague list. But if you're looking for another option, Luna Lounge, look it up at the Bula Gastro Bar. Sit up on the roof, have a drink, relax. It says it's mesmerizing.
Well, that's a pretty strong word.
Mesmerizing is a very strong word.
It's a very strong word.
I enjoy that word, and I don't use it quite enough in my vocabulary, but I'm going to make sure that I put a note in my head, and I use the word mesmerizing quite a bit moving forward.
Well, that's mesmerizing, Eric.
Yeah, that is. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
See what he did there, folks?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Bing,
said
bang,
it was
bow.
mesmerizing. This place I have been to, Birchwood Canopy in St. Petersburg. Very cool spot. A little pricey, but it's very relaxing. Birchwood has got a hotel attached to it, and it's also got the rooftop bar. You can go up there and just have a drink. You don't have to be a guest of the hotel in order to do it, but it is a beautiful setting, and you get to overlook downtown St. Pete, and you get to see the water as well. Right there, I believe it's on Beach Drive in downtown St. Pete, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful place. If you're looking for a nice hangout, that's going to be a spot as well. And then the last on the list is going to be here in beautiful Dunedin, where we broadcast out of, Hi-Fi Rooftop Bar in Dunedin.
That's on top of the Fenway.
Is that on top of the Fenway?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so the Fenway is, if for all of you that don't know, we broadcast right over here off of what is this, alternate 19, and the Fenway is right down the street from here, maybe at 3 miles down the street. 2 miles, 3 miles. Beautiful venue over there. They've got a great hotel. They've got great dining, and apparently the Hi-Fi Rooftop Bar comes in at number 1 in Dunedin, right down the street from the broadcast of the Knife and Fork Radio Show on the one and only Tan Talk Radio Network. So there you have it, folks. There's your top 10 list for the week. I never disappoint, hopefully, and I make sure that you get the information that you need moving forward so that you can use this info and have a great time with your significant other, your family, whoever it is you want to hang out with, and relax a little bit on your downtime. What do you think about that, Mike?
You know what? I think it's a great idea.
I think it is a great idea. Relaxing is something we don't get enough of in our day-to-day.
That's a mesmerizing statement, Eric.
See that? Yeah, things are really going my direction this morning, and I like that.
It's looking up today.
I'm very mesmerizing. That's what people tell me. Everyone knows it. People tell me I'm mesmerizing. You know it. I know it. Everyone in the world knows. Kim Jong-un knows. Everyone knows I'm mesmerizing, and people eat dogs in Springfield. Moving on. Elon Musk is in the news yet again, but this time it's not for any controversy. It's not for anything that's upsetting, that'll make you feel uneasy about him. He apparently says that he's revealed the dates of when he's going to send a crew to Mars and exactly how long it will be before he builds the first city on Mars.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's not that far away.
Really?
And I want to go ahead and take a commercial break. That's my teaser going into it. And I want to talk about Elon Musk and his Mars expeditions moving forward when we come back. You are listening to the Knife and Fork Radio Show right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. It is 9:19. We'll see you in about 90 seconds.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is Paul Porter, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I hope you'll join me every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for my weekly show, The Home Team, heard right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live, The Home Team with Paul Porter, talking Lightning, Bucks, Rays, USF, and a whole lot more. Your calls and prize giveaways. Join us this Saturday and every Saturday morning for The Home Team, 9 to 11 on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Tune in to the Shrink and Wrap Show here on Tan Talk Radio.
Our stories and our topics will include, but are not limited to, everyday issues. We're here for you, for our listeners. We want to know what's important to you.
So again, don't miss us
on Tan Talk Radio. Tune in again, Shrink and Wrap Show.
We'll see you then.
That's the Shrink and Wrap Show every Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Calling all radio enthusiasts with storm claims and legal questions. Join us every Saturday at 2 p.m. on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340 for Legal Candy with attorney Candace Colucci. She's your guide to hurricane-related issues, property insurance law, and more sizzling legal topics. Get ready for a lively legal experience. Make your Saturday sweet with Legal Candy on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody. 9:21 here on the Knife and Fork Radio Network. And as promised, 90 seconds has passed. 90 seconds later, here we are yet again with more riveting news and more stories to keep you entertained for the first hour of your workday. So, as I said previously before the commercial break, Elon Musk is back in the news. And this guy, Mike, and we were just talking about it briefly through the commercial break. I mean, what a what's the word? Not innovator, but just a visionary.
Yes.
In order to get stuff done. I mean, this guy, say what you want about Elon Musk and, call him what you want and, his personal life and all the inadequacies and whatever with his 15 kids that don't have real names. They've got letters for names and symbols and whatever this guy does on his personal time is completely up to him. But his plan to get crap done is incredible to me. So years ago, obviously, he started the Tesla Corporation, wanted to have a zero carbon company, wanted to have less impact on, the carbon footprint, whatever. So what does he do? He starts building cars. Okay. Yeah. So then years later, he's got this amazing company building these cars. And, obviously, I mean, you can't drive for 5 minutes without seeing 5 Teslas going down the road. So he's done really well for himself with this car company. Then he says, you know what, building these cars and being successful in the automotive industry is not enough. I'm going to start building rockets.
Let's build spaceships.
And that's not enough. So what does he do then? He says, I'm going to put people on Mars. So now he's got a plan. And apparently, from what he said recently, the first starships to Mars will launch in 2 years when the next Earth/Mars transfer window opens. And I am not a genius, and I have no idea what that means. Yeah. But apparently there must be a window where you can do this over a certain amount of time, possibly, or, it only comes around X amount of years.
Right, where it's like a straight shot, maybe.
Right, exactly, where it's, direct. So he's going to put a spaceship on Mars within the next 10 years. And this is a very bold statement. I can't find it on here. I was reading about it earlier, but he says there it is. He predicted that surging frequency in space travel, flight rate will grow exponentially from there after he puts that spaceship on Mars, with the goal of building a self-sustaining city on Mars
in about 20 years. So, Mike, before we die, this son of a bitch might be building colonies on Mars. We might actually see that. I thought when I was reading this article, when I was getting it together for this, for the show today, that it was going to say within the next 100 years. Obviously, he won't be around to make it happen, but 20 years, man. So when this happens, I won't even be 70 years old at that point. And I may be watching on TV a colony on Mars starting to be built. That's pretty amazing.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, Pauly Shore did predict it in Biodome.
I remember this movie, Biodome.
But, hey, I await the day that I can visit Mars.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be in good enough health at 68, 70 years old or 65, however old you'll be at that point. We can start working towards a goal to make that happen. But you probably have to be in some sort of decent shape to get in that spaceship and make sure that you're healthy enough to make that 4-year trek to get to Mars.
Right, if the economy hasn't broken your back yet.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll figure that out as it goes, but we'll see. But that's pretty amazing.
That is pretty amazing.
Years. And I don't know why the name of the movie escapes me with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he went to Mars. Not Mars. I want to say Mars Attacks. Ed, what's the name of the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger back from the 90s? It's one of my favorite movies. Where he goes to Mars. And I can't think of it for some reason. Yeah, you're going through the same thing. I'm drawing a blank right now. Hey, how long are you going to be on Mars? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. The lady says. Something about Mars, man. Ed's looking.
I think Mars Attacks is when Mars comes down. With the aliens,
that's when they come down with the aliens. That was a comedy with Martin Short and all those guys. Yeah, that was a great movie too.
That was a great movie.
Hilarious. Has anyone seen Beetlejuice yet? By the way, speaking of movies,
my wife and daughter have seen it.
What? Total Recall. Thank you, Ed. I was going crazy. Total Recall.
Oh, that's right. The lady with the 3 boobs.
That's the one. Yes,
that's the one.
Yeah. The lady, she had the 3 boobs. Yes, you're right, man. Yeah.
Breeders.
I love it. Thank you, Ed, for that. Thank you. Yeah. So, what did they think of Beetlejuice when they went? Did
they said they loved it. They loved it. They said it was hilarious. It was more funny than the first one.
Did you see it too, Ed?
Yep.
Yeah. Was it as good as the first one in your opinion, or better, or
different?
Different.
Was it more geared towards children?
Hard to say, right? It's just one of those things.
I'd say it's about the same.
About the same, yeah. Because I remember the first Beetlejuice was outstanding, man. I just watched it probably less than a year ago once again. And great movie, man.
Well, in all the trailers, Michael Keaton looked awesome in it. But,
Yeah, he looks the same as he did in the first one, but he's got a lot of makeup on, too. But
this one deals with Beetlejuice's ex-wife coming back.
Oh, my God. Okay.
And hunting him down.
Oh, that does sound horrifying.
Say no more. I'm going to go and see it.
Yeah.
Hopefully this weekend I can get out there and go see it because it's on my list. I want to see it. I want to see it in the theater. I don't want to wait for it to come out on video.
Oh, well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, we'll see. It's one of those movies where it's like, all right,
I already got it.
Yeah. Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
All right. After the show, we'll talk about that because I want to get it too. Hey, do you guys ever? I know in Florida we don't have these. Maybe in North Florida we do, but Food Lion for the grocery store.
Oh, they used to have some. But they've closed down since.
I know they're up in Georgia and whatever.
They had one on Fletcher and Florida, or Bears in Florida for a while. Yeah, and
Food Line.
Yeah, Food Line.
Yeah, I guess they didn't make it in Florida, but here's something crazy about Food Line. Apparently, recently, within this past week, somebody, I don't know why, they haven't really said the reason, but they found a dead body of one of the workers inside of the freezer.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
At a Food Line in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Well,
so apparently maybe this guy got locked in the freezer. Maybe I don't think anybody killed him. It doesn't seem like there's any foul play. I read this article a couple times to make sure that I get my story straight. But it doesn't seem like there's any foul play involved. But it kind of goes back to that story we covered a couple of weeks ago with that lady that worked at the Wells Fargo office that died at her desk. And she was at her desk for 5 days before anyone realized that she was dead.
Yeah.
So you imagine just going to work. There's Cheryl back there.
Hey,
she's working hard.
Cheryl?
And she's just sitting there at her computer, and you think she's getting things done. She's going over the analytics of the finances of the customer. Maybe she's writing a mortgage. Yeah, who knows what she's doing? Wells Fargo, you know what I mean?
Did she get paid for that week? That's the question.
I hope so.
I really hope so.
But there's dead bodies popping up at work all over the place, apparently, man. Food Lion.
Well, Food Lion is so janky that they probably didn't have one of those little push things inside the freezer, so he couldn't get out.
Right. No,
It was probably just padlocked.
That's why their prices are so low. Yeah, that's exactly why.
They skipped all the safety.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's exactly what happened. So that way they can keep their prices low and they can reel you in to the Food Lion. Apparently there's a bodybuilder I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. He's not a competitive bodybuilder, apparently, but he is a YouTube sensation. I don't know. I don't really keep up with social media, and I don't really watch anything online, YouTube related, Facebook. I don't, it's just, I just don't have time, nor do I care, you know what I mean, for stupid crap like that.
Holy cow, look at this guy.
This son of a bitch is massive, okay? He's got a 61-inch chest, is what this article says. He's 6'1". He's got a 61-inch chest and 25-inch biceps. This guy is a monster. Okay.
Wow.
He's known as the 340-pound beast, and sometimes known as the mutant.
Man.
All right. 36 years old.
Heart attack.
Dead.
Oh, dead.
Dead.
Wow.
Died 36 years old. Look at this. Look at the mass on this guy. Look at his arms, man. This guy's a monster. So
consuming 16,500 calories a day.
I'm going to go over his diet. That's why I want to talk about this. Look at this guy, man, right? You imagine walking up to him in an alley. What do you do, right? I mean,
take out your gun.
Yeah, you have to. So apparently this guy, 36 years old, died of a heart attack, and they haven't released an autopsy or results as of yet. We can only assume what it could be, but again, I'm not going to allegedly accuse him of anything on this. But as we get further into the story, as the weeks develop, we'll retouch on this. So for breakfast, this guy ate, and apparently this guy must have been overseas because it's not in ounces or pounds, it's in grams. For breakfast, this guy ate 300 grams of rolled oats. That's his breakfast.
Oh, that's like a whole day.
For lunch number one.
Oh, lunch number one.
Apparently, he had a couple of lunches over the course of his day. He's hungry, man.
He's
working out a lot. He's a little hungry.
Yeah.
Got to keep that up. He ate sushi for lunch number one, including 1,600 grams of rice and 800 grams of salmon. Mike, if you wouldn't mind, really quickly, will you do a quick conversion, 1,600 grams to ounces, and let's take a look at that as this story continues to unfold. Lunch number two, 1,300 grams of beef, followed by crepes and ice cream. That's his lunch number two. Lunch number three, fresh pasta, accompanied by 500 grams of rice and olives.
It's 56.438 ounces.
Excuse me?
56.438 ounces.
Oh my God.
Of salmon.
That's about 4 steaks.
Yeah. And this
4 to 5 steaks.
This is one of his meals.
Average is 8 ounces in a restaurant. Probably 6 to 8 ounces of salmon.
There's 16 ounces in a pound. Yeah. 1632. So that's about 4.5. It's about 3.5 pounds
of salmon.
That's his lunch number one.
Can you imagine the amount of mercury in that?
A lot.
Oh wow.
Then he goes to lunch number two and eats 1,300 grams of beef, followed by crepes and ice cream. Lunch number three.
Oh, the third lunch.
This son of a bitch eats 3 lunches.
When did he have time to lift weights?
I don't know.
In between lunch 1 and 3.
Fresh pasta accompanied by 500 grams of rice and olives. Dinner number one. Moving on to dinner.
Okay.
This is when you get to relax a little bit. You maybe have a little pasta for dinner. You might have salmon. Maybe enjoy a glass of Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand if you choose to do so with dinner. Not this guy. Dinner number one, 300 grams of pasta with 200 grams of cheese.
Oh, wow.
Dinner number two.
Okay.
So dinner number one was that. Now dinner number two, 1,300 grams of beef and 700 grams of cottage cheese or possibly ricotta, depending on his flavor of the evening.
Oh,
and then what they're calling supper.
Oh, so supper's not the same thing as dinner.
Apparently supper is different than dinner.
Okay.
This is the topper. 14 oatmeal pancakes with maple syrup.
Oh, really?
14. So that's his intake of food for the day. That is absolute insanity.
No wonder he died.
So he was taking 16,000 plus calories per day. And that's what he turned into. And that's what he looked like at the time of his death.
Well, no wonder his heart couldn't keep up with all that.
I mean, I couldn't imagine that, man.
I mean, I don't think anyone's heart could keep up with that.
No, that's just, it's ludicrous. It's absolute ludicrous. So anyway, if you're thinking about eating 16,000 calories or 1,500 grams of salmon or whatever it is that this guy ate, think twice about doing it because it might just kill you. All right?
It might just
kill you. Boar's Head back in the news. Boar's Head, everybody. Boar's Head's back in the news again. And I got to tell you, now I was on Boar's Head side in the beginning.
Yeah, because it's such a big company.
It's a big company.
It's a liked company.
1903 is when Boar's Head started, and they just built a cold cut empire over the years.
Something to be said for that.
CNN reports major deficiencies found at Boar's Head plant almost 2 years before the deli meat recall. So apparently the Department of Agriculture, and I'm going to get a little bit further into my opinions on this as well, was going into the Boar's Head facility, which they do, checking for sanitation, checking for cleanliness, making sure that the standards are fit for human consumption of the food that they're producing. And they told them 2 years ago that they have issues that need to be addressed. And if they don't address these issues, there could be an imminent threat, is what they call this. In quotes, this is from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Food and Safety Inspectors. And here's where it gets a little bit weird for me, all right? Now, restaurants are regulated by the health department, DBPR, the Department of Business Professional Regulations. Anything deli or bakery related with consumer consumption involved is regulated by the Department of Agriculture. Both of them share the same standards 90% of the time. Department of Agriculture might be a little bit more lenient on certain things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the health department, the DBPR, might be a little bit more lenient on certain things. But nonetheless, both of them have the same interest involved to make sure that public safety is maintained with the production of these foods in these facilities. So my question to you is, you see these articles every day of the week. This restaurant shut down for food violations, safety violations. This restaurant cited with 30 different violations, shut down for blah, 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 whatever. You see these articles everywhere. Why is it that 2 years ago, Boar's Head was given a list of inadequacies and they fell short of their obligations for public safety, yet they were still continued to operate for the next 2 years leading up to a listeria outbreak?
Well, maybe the Department of Agriculture doesn't have the authority that the DPBR has.
It's you would think so, but I'm gonna tell you, man, the Department of Agriculture is the exact same governing authority.
Really?
Yeah, trust me, because right now where I work, we're regulated by the Department of Agriculture because we're primarily a deli with cold cuts, raw meat, butcher shops, things like that. When the Department of Ag walks in there, they have the exact same authority as the health department. It's just a different state regulatory entity.
Right.
It's just called Department of Ag versus the health department. So how did Boar's Head get away with this for 2 years? And how was it allowed by the Department of Agriculture to be gotten away with?
Somebody was getting greased, man.
There's going to be a huge investigation moving forward. And I'll tell you, man, this is going to get uglier than what we see right now, because, you see these problems, quote, the Boar's Head facility in Jarrett, Virginia, is where all this food came out of, described as insects were found, mold, puddles of blood in the floor, a rancid smell in the cooler, and various other points in 2022. Holes in walls, product residue on surfaces, dripping condensation, rusty equipment, peeling and flaking paint on the walls. As a restaurant owner, if I had these issues in my small business,
you'd be shut down immediately.
I would be shut down immediately, and it would be public knowledge that all of this was going on, and it would cripple my business. How is it that Boar's Head was allowed to continue to operate for 2 years after these reports came out?
Wow.
It's amazing,
2 years,
right?
That's how society works, right?
That's it, man. Yeah.
Cut a check and everything's all right.
Money talks, right? That's what they say.
BS walks.
That is amazing to me that was even allowed to happen. Then ultimately,
that's a grease job.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
100%.
It's not a couple of roach traps that were, overlooked, or, holes and stuff like that.
Yep.
You've all had restaurants. You have X amount of days to fix that, because they come back.
Oh, they come back for sure.
and then the next guy checks for it or whatever. So
yeah, they send you down the
that's
line.
a grease job. That somebody's going to get
it
caught.
has 100%. And I could not agree with you more. It has to be, because like they'll walk in there, and if they find all those things as a day-to-day restaurant operator, they'll say, listen, here's your violations. We will be back tomorrow before 5 o'clock. And if these violations that come in as hazardous are not taken care of, at that point, we will shut you down.
Exactly.
And then as a restaurant owner, if you are ever presented with that, then you have to shut your business down at that point, and you have to have a company, or you have to do it yourself, come in, clean, sanitize, have everything ready to go, make sure your temperatures are in place. And then the next day they come back, they reinspect. And then if it's not done, they will shut you down. So
not only do you have to do that, you are obligated to post on the door why.
100%. Yep.
Why you are not open for the day.
100%. Yeah. So I don't know, man. We're gonna learn a lot more in the upcoming weeks about Boar's Head's responsibility, about the Department of Agriculture's role in maintaining public safety and health moving forward.
The CEO of Boar's Head and the Department of Agriculture step down next week.
Right. This is I'm telling you, man, this is just the tip of the iceberg, because the hits keep on coming, man. And now the Department of Ag is being brought down into this mess as well. So yeah, the hits just keep on coming.
Man.
You ever been to BurgerFi, Mike?
Yeah, of course.
What do you think of that place?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah,
apparently that's the common consensus, that it's just all right, because BurgerFi, Florida-born burger chain, just filed bankruptcy.
I'm not surprised.
Yet another restaurant in the apocalypse.
The restaurant apocalypse. That's exactly what we're going through right now.
Common restaurant world. Another chain filed for bankruptcy. BurgerFi, I've never been there, but I can only imagine. What are they, like a Burger 21 or
Same
like
thing.
a
Same
Burger
exact
Monger
thing.
or something like that? You know, just
Nothing
like
different.
8-9 different burgers on the menu, French
Yeah.
fries, Five Guys, kind of similar to that.
Well, Five Guys will kill you quicker, but other than that.
Right. Man, I love Five Guys.
Yeah.
Expensive though, man.
Yeah,
Expensive. But yeah, so there we are again, folks. The restaurant apocalypse is not ending. It is still going on. And BurgerFi is the next victim within this restaurant apocalypse to file bankruptcy. And now, when I say bankruptcy, it doesn't mean that they're going to close down and they're going to just shut their doors. They're probably filing Chapter 13, I believe it is, or I don't know which chapter it is, but where you can regroup, restructure debts, pay them off over X amount of time. So they'll be fine, provided that this comes to an end at some point, you know?
Well, I imagine they'd be converting over to cats, dogs, household pets, etc., in order to facilitate their meat.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Now, with that being said, is the Haitian community the owners of BurgerFi? Because apparently the Haitian immigrants that have come into Springfield, Ohio, they're eating our cats, they're eating our dogs, they're eating all of our pets.
I mean, that's the word on the street. I personally don't know, but that's what I hear everywhere I go. I can't even go to the gas station without hearing,
oh my God,
man, these Haitians running these BurgerFis are really about to make a transition.
Yeah. It's everyone knows, you know it, I know it. The Haitian community, they've moved into Springfield. They're eating our dogs. Everyone knows this is what's going on. They're eating our cats. We have to stop it. Madison Avenue Pizzeria. They have a 32-inch pizza challenge.
Oh, I don't think that's that hard, huh?
Maybe that bodybuilder that
he could have smashed that.
Yeah, he could eat that in one. He'd full up like a taco and just eat that thing in one sitting.
Oh, that would be like his first lunch.
Dunedin, right down the street from here, as a matter of fact. It's right on the corner of, I believe it's on Curlew and Alternate 19, Madison Avenue Pizza. They have a 32-inch pizza challenge. This challenge invites two people to team up and eat a gigantic one-topping 32-inch pizza in just 1 hour. Now, you know, I don't know. Could you do it?
I mean,
if you and I went to Madison Pizza right after the show today and we said, give me the pizza challenge, do you think that you and I would be able to tackle that and eat it?
I think if we both stop for a restroom break, I think we could probably do it.
I think I could probably, with I'm not by myself, obviously, with the two people, with you know, you or somebody else, I think I'd be able to do it. But here's where it gets a bit skewed for me, because I also think that if I got into a fight with a Kodiak bear, I would win. So my thought process is a little bit different than the average person's.
I always dream about choking out kangaroos. Does that count?
It does. I think that absolutely plays into today's topic.
Yeah. So
I tell my wife that all the time. I said, yeah, if I got into a fight with a bear, the bear wouldn't stand a chance. I can look at the bear and I can tell where to hit.
Well, yeah.
And where to poke the eyes out.
Right.
And what I need to do in order to make this fight winnable on my part. And I can envision myself taking down a bear.
I'm the same as you, man, because I think of rear naked choke on a kangaroo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all standing up, ready to box me out. And I just dip and dodge and rear naked choke them out.
Now, let me ask you this. What weight boxing gloves is the kangaroo wearing?
Oh,
14 ounce?
14 ounce for sure.
Okay. So he's standard.
He's standard.
Yeah.
I mean, he's certified. You know
Speaking of boxing, man, is this Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight ever going to happen?
I don't think it is.
Is it happening or what? I remember when it came out in the news, man. Look, 58, 59 years old, Mike Tyson. I don't care, man. It's Mike Tyson. I don't care if he's fighting Jake Paul, if he's fighting a kangaroo. I want to see him back in the ring again.
Yeah, you know what?
Maybe it's an exhibition, maybe it's not. I want to see him back in the ring.
The only way you can do it is if he can do it within 2 rounds.
Oh yeah,
he's not going 5 or 6.
He's not going the distance. No, he's not going the
But
distance.
if he comes out with everything he's got, he could do it.
Is a fight going to happen though, Ed? Have you heard anything about it?
Yeah, he was sick last time or something.
Yeah, right. He had some sort of like a virus or the flu or I don't remember
was going on.
something weird like that. Yeah, where he was sick.
No, but they did reschedule. I don't know when it is, but
so it is rescheduled. It's going to happen.
Yep.
And I mean, like I said, it could be an exhibition. It could be fake. They could have headgear on. I want to see Mike Tyson in the ring. I don't care.
I want to see him whoop that guy's butt, man. I just want to see him hit him once in the mouth.
I know.
Just hit him once in the mouth. That's it.
You imagine like watching Jake Paul's chin with that uppercut from Iron Mike coming at him?
Oh, I think it would just shatter.
I mean, I watched those uppercuts and I watched his footwork in the ring when he was in his heyday, Mike Tyson. And I got to tell you, the guy was just incredible, man.
Yeah.
He was just a monster in the ring. Terrifying.
I don't think Jake Paul is a 100th of the fighter that Mike Tyson is.
Oh, not even close.
Even if Mike Tyson is at 0.5%, 50%, excuse me, he's still going to take him down.
Yeah,
you know
he's still going to take him out.
Yeah, he's still going to take him out.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's just an animal, and that killer instinct doesn't go away as you get older.
No,
it may not be as predominant because you start to, you lose your drive a little as you get older, or you lose your ability or your muscle mass or, whatever. But that instinct will always be instilled in him.
I don't think you lose
training.
I think you just bury it.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think what happens is once you get hit in the mouth, it's on. Then it comes out.
Oh my God, yeah.
He could smash a 32-inch pizza and then go in there and kill him.
Sure. Once he feels the impact of his hand on Jake Paul's chin,
it's back.
Guess who's back in the ring again?
Yeah.
Iron Mike.
Yeah, and he doesn't care at that point what happens to his body.
Now it's like, I'm winning. That's it.
He could literally die in the ring and wouldn't care.
I know. It's amazing. And let's go ahead and take another quick commercial break before we wrap up the show. 9:47 on the Knife and Fork radio show, right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. When I come back, we're going to talk about one of the greats that we lost last week. And you might think it's Darth Vader when I talk about it.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hi, this is Paul Malloy, host of Freedom Works, The Paul Malloy Show. I hope you'll join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, where we strive to bring you the libertarian perspective on political events of the day. There's no show quite like Freedom Works, with in-depth interviews, our ultimate top 10 list, and so much more. So join us for Freedom Works, The Paul Malloy Show, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hello, this is the one and only Robbie the Shark. I want to welcome you to the new program, All Groovy, man. I just want a bunch of folks in front of my porch. Let's have a Coca-Cola, a sweet tea, or whatever your drinking flavor is, and let's just talk about life and how far we've come on the only 1340 WTAN Tan Talk Radio Network.
It's All Groovy with Robbie the Shark, Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Listen at your own risk.
Hey, you new to the area or just want to know about the best hidden gems and upcoming events? Stay tuned. Be Local Buzz with Devin takes you to these places, introduces you to the best businesses, and tells you about upcoming buzz. Preset your radio to Tan Talk 1340 AM or 106.1 FM every Thursday from 4 to 5. That is the Be Local Buzz with Devin on Tan Talk 1340 AM and 106 FM every Thursday from 4 to 5. Looking forward to speaking with you.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody. Night Before Radio Show. Sorry about that. We had to take a quick commercial break. I got to tell you, like I was telling Mike during this break, man, these headphones are squeezing my head together for some reason today, man. I feel like my head's a giant pimple, and there's going to be some something shooting out of the top of it here soon, man, from these headphones.
Well, you know what? They say that your ears grow 0.22% every year of your life.
What?
Your ears.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think, or so what you're saying basically, Mike, is I'm getting old.
And your ears are growing.
All right.
It's making them tighter.
Makes sense. Speaking of getting old.
All taps for this guy. This guy's a legend.
Luke, I'm your father. And by the way, he never said that in the movie. There we go, everybody. Legendary.
R.I.P.
James Earl Jones.
Oh.
Legend.
Quick story about this. Did you know that the guy that played?
He's breathing in my ear right now, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
Is it turning you on?
I'm getting a little excited. And turn that music off, man, or bad things might happen in the studio. And Mike's right next to me.
Oh, man.
He's the last person that wants that to happen.
Oh man. So listen, I was listening to on the radio yesterday that the guy that plays Darth Vader in the movie, the actual actor
wearing the suit,
yeah. Thought that he was reading all the lines the whole time.
You're kidding me.
The whole time. So
under the mask?
Under the mask.
Yeah.
So he thinks that when the premiere comes out, that it's all him.
No.
And then I guess the producers, was it Spielberg?
No, I forget who it was.
Whoever it was.
Lucas, I don't know. One of those multi-billionaire.
Yeah, one of the guys that are richer than me.
It wasn't Harvey Weinstein. We know that.
So he goes, man, this is not nearly intimidating enough. I think we have to dub over this guy.
He had that voice there because they just kept going on, and he would say, bring the princess and the Wookiee to me.
That's what he sounded like?
Yeah, just like that.
Oh my God, I think I would have liked it better if I'd heard that.
No. And whoever was in charge of it said, just not intimidating enough.
Yeah, was it the guy from Willow, the little short guy from Willow? Hey, Matt Madigan.
It just might have been.
Right.
But then he found out at the reveal of the actual, when they played it for everyone.
He had no idea.
He had no idea.
Oh my God.
So he was taking all these takes and redoing it, and had no idea that they dubbed over him.
Oh my God, what a terrible way to find out, right? Holy cow. All right, well, rest in peace, James Earl Jones. You were a legend, and we will miss you and your voice. And I know CNN will miss you because this is CNN. You are the voice of the intro for CNN. But I will tell you really quickly, Mike, before I turn it over to you, because I know you got a couple things you want to touch on. I did hear, however, that James Earl Jones for the original Star Wars movie was paid a grand total of $7,000 to do that voiceover.
Oh, wow. That's horrible.
That's pretty crazy.
He never met the cast.
Right. No.
Because he was in a room doing all the voices, and it didn't take him long.
And I think whoever the Spielberg or Harvey Weinstein, whoever it was that produced it, gave him $7,000. And how iconic, Harvey Weinstein wasn't the producer of that movie. I'm just kidding. But how iconic is that voice in relation to Darth Vader? And all he made was $7,000 on that deal.
Wow. And to piggyback off of that, he did the CNN cut of the voice in a hotel room and only got paid $2,000 for it.
Amazing.
Now you're tarnishing his legacy when you start linking him with CNN.
Well, of course, but he did do the intro for
CNN, though. He is the voice.
I don't want to tarnish James Earl Jones because he's amazing. He's one of my favorites. Right. But they said that he didn't even think he got paid for it. But then he went back and looked at all of his accounts and stuff, and he said he got paid $2,000 for it.
Wasn't he the father in Coming to America?
He was. One and two.
Yeah.
And 1 and 2.
Mike, what do you got for us today, man?
All right, Alex. So I got a crazy story. So we wake up, I guess, one day last week or the week before, they sent out a notification from my kid's school saying that, there was a threat of an active shooter.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, that was intercepted by the FBI on Facebook.
At her school, where she goes?
No. Well, it was a person that attended her school after school had posted something about shooting up the school.
Gotcha.
And then the FBI intercepted it, turned it over to Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
So they knock on this kid's door at his house, arrest him, expel him from the school.
Oh my God.
All this, right? And then they notify the parents the next day that this kid no longer goes there, any of this. And so luckily they intercepted it and caught it, which is crazy that they could actually do that with in real time.
Yeah.
And so that's amazing. We'll give the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office a shout out for that.
Absolutely.
But they're also, in lieu of that, they're doing a fundraiser at my kid's school in order to facilitate this not happening anymore, so they could take more action to stop it and,
Right, just have some funding in order
have some funding for some fundraisers, stop bullying and all this.
Right,
and it's at Walker Middle Magnet 7th grade school. It's at supportmyfundraiser.org.
Okay.
So go to Please Help Michaela Hayes raise funds at Walker Middle Magnet 7th grade at supportmyfundraiser.org.
Okay.
In order to stop any, active shooters, so they can gain some money to do other things and be active in the community.
Remember the good old days when you just pulled the fire alarm?
I'll tell you, man.
Yeah, these kids are crazy now.
It's scary out there, man.
Well,
It really
they don't.
is.
No, I
It is
don't
scary.
put it on that. I don't think they realize the magnitude of what they're doing.
No, it's the parents for
It's
sure.
not exactly. It's not explained to them. Listen, you're not just telling your friend you're going to do this. When you do this on the internet, you're telling the world.
You're telling the whole world.
And they don't know that you're just kidding around or whatever. Because you always say when you text people, you can't show emotion. They're telling us to do all caps. But still, I mean, I don't think they know the magnitude. And if they want to teach them, then by golly, in the first few days of the school year, teach them in school how bad this can be.
Instantly.
I know.
I mean,
and then if they don't pick up on it, then that's
from kindergarten on.
And then,
you know what I mean?
And it rolls into the kids that are in class that have no desire or anything like that. Like 99.9% of the kids, 99.9999% of the kids that aren't these people that are, threatening to shoot up the schools. Now these kids in school have to go through, we used to go through fire drills when we were kids. Yeah. Everyone single file line, walk out to the
parking lot.
soccer field, the parking lot, or whatever. Now these kids have active shooter drills, and they have to. And there's procedure and there's policy for what to do if there's an active shooter in the school. I couldn't imagine what my parents would think if I had to go through an active shooter drill, because my mom was paranoid. She was terrified. Like if I breathed funny, she was up my ass trying to figure out if I was sick or not. So my mom was a paranoid person when it came to parenting, and I could not imagine what she would do. I probably, because in those days we had no online education, she'd probably just yank me out of school, and I would be an idiot right now with no education. You know what I mean? She wouldn't have allowed me to go to school.
And think about the kids that get the idea from the active shooter drill.
Absolutely.
From the attention that they get from the school.
Of course, and these kids know exactly what the lay of the land is moving
exactly.
forward.
So now it's a double-edged sword.
But see, there's a problem. If you're going to teach one, teach the other. If you're going to teach them how to respond to this, teach them the consequences of causing this problem.
Exactly.
And they're not doing that. And they need to do that within the first few days of the school year.
Yeah.
In every classroom.
I know.
Well, if I got paid $26,000 a year, I wouldn't be teaching them either. But that's the end of the day.
Have some kids that are locked up. Yeah. Have them do a Zoom call or something like, "Hey, I'm an idiot. Look what I did. I've got 14 years in prison."
Yeah.
Exactly.
My life's over.
Yeah, exactly. Show them like, what are they, scared straight?
Yeah, scared straight with the drugs and stuff. Same thing.
Yeah,
Same
exactly.
Thing.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's pretty much all I had today. But if you're an active shooter at a school,
you're a piece of S. You're a piece of S if you're an active shooter.
You know what I mean? you really got some things.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It is.
Luckily, it's not up to me or you, because we'd go in there.
I know.
Gun them down.
Oh, for God, forget about it, man. I know it would be terrible. Couple things, Mike. Moving on. There's some things that I hate in this world. You know what I mean? I've got one major thing that I hate, because it is football season again right now. And I do
Is it Chick-fil-A?
No. Well, everyone knows how I feel about that. I do enjoy going to Bucs games from time to time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I really hate?
The open stadium with 100-degree weather.
Well, the open stadium with
$8 beers.
I'll tell you what, Ed, you hit the nail on the head, man. I hate stadium prices on everything.
Well,
I hate stadium prices.
They got smart for a while. They would we're not raising the price, but then the cup would get smaller and smaller each year.
Yep.
And I want you guys to look into this story later, but leading into this, things that I hate coming out of the story, which made me think of it, is apparently at the U.S. Open, they're selling $100 chicken nuggets right now at the U.S. Open, but they are dipped in 24 karat gold.
Oh, fantastic. So you can keep one and get your money back.
You're listening to the Knife and Fork Radio Show right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. We'll see you next Thursday. Coming up next, We've got a great show lined up for the Voice of Reason. Stay tuned on the Tan Talk Radio Network following the national and international news from CBS. Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate, Debbie, don't know how to say her name, /Powell, will be the guest on the Voice of Reason. Stay tuned. We'll see you next Thursday. As always, have a great week. Mike, you got anything?
Voice of Reason.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.